It's late. It is 9:45 at night. I'm not even wearing my glasses because I'm about to go to bed. About to take off my makeup and go to bed, I should say. And I was looking at my lovely little seedling tray, thinking, hey, I'm just going to walk over here, take a quick gander. No, wasn't expecting to see much, but if we go really close, we might be able to see first seeds. Let me go ahead and take this off. There we are. First seed has sprouted. I'm going to go to bed, but I am super excited. Last time I started this experiment with carrot seeds, I've put plastic over these pots to try to keep them a bit more humid. I've had a hard time in the past, but it looks like they are definitely working. I'm glad to say that the soil is still nice and damp. And in other news, the seeds I started outside are also starting to sprout. I want to talk a little bit more about the stand itself. My dad is a rock star. When I first wanted to start my seedlings, I encouraged him to make me a customized stand, and he did a great job. It's adjustable with these chains, and it's pretty solid overall. It's just big enough for this light, and I'm able to lower it up and down and lift it up as the plants grow. Maybe someday I'll remake a larger one for more plants, but for now it works really well. Alrighty, time for trimming my outdoor plants. And of course it's raining today. I'm doing my best to keep my camera just barely inside. As the video progresses, I'm sure that my glasses will get more and more covered in water. The last couple of years I've attempted to take some of my herbs that I would like to save for next season inside. If it gets below 40 degrees at night, I'm going to bring all of my herbs inside again. But for now, the weather is just barely warm enough that it's okay. Primarily, I have my sweet bay tree. This is a culinary bay. There are bay trees out there that are, bay, but they're actually not supposed to be used culinarily. So if you do want to get a bay tree, always make sure you have a bay nobilis, which is the edible variety. So this plant did really well indoors. It looks even happier now that I've moved it outside. So I did not realize it at first, but this bay tree is actually grafted onto our rootstock. There is a little spot where I've noticed that suckers have been growing out of the old roots. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim away those little suckers. For this project, I'm using the snips I sharpened from my last video. I'll go ahead and link that video next. For these cuts, I am trying to cut as close to the trunk as I can and cutting at a 45-degree angle away from the tree. By cutting at a 45-degree angle, there's less of a chance for disease or rot to seep into the trunk and kill the tree. Fortunately, I do not need to prune vigorously this year. Earlier, I did take off some of the not so healthy bay leaves so I could use them in my own cooking because I ran out, but I don't have any more to remove at this time. I also have my Persian mint. I absolutely love this variety. It is so flavorful and quite delightful. I purchased this 2 years ago and did wonderfully the first year. The second year, it wasn't particularly great. I don't think I trimmed this down early enough in the year to have vigorous summer growth, so I'm doing that now before the season gets too far along. And I'm just using isopropyl alcohol to sanitize my clippers here. I am trying to be better this year. Calling what I'm doing vigorous is an understatement. By chopping almost everything off, I am hoping to see this mint bounce back even better later. And now I have a couple plants that I always move inside, but in the best conditions, I would probably want to keep them outdoors. First and foremost, I have my sage plant. This is a culinary sage. As you can see, it's kind of floppy and not particularly happy. That's because a lot of the new growth, the floppier growth, is what grew in the last few months while they've been inside. Not the best conditions for it. Hasn't been too happy. There is a lot of new growth though, so I want to vigorously cut back the leggy parts and just allow new sturdy growth to grow from the lower parts of this plant.
This is another brutal trim to watch. I'm starting with the largest and weakest areas before trimming older but also unhealthy parts further down. Finally, I'm cleaning up dead leaves to prevent disease and any critters from hiding.
And last but not least, I have a pretty severe casualty this last winter. I've tried to grow rosemary inside over the winter. This is my second attempt doing so, and it just doesn't like to live. My area gets so cold in the winter, I'm very nervous to keep my herbs outside, particularly in pots where the ground can't keep the roots as warm as they need to be. So as a precaution, I bring them inside, but year after year, this rosemary does not do well. I think it's a goner. I don't think she's coming back, but I am going to vigorously cut her back, and just to see if there's any difference in a month or so. If not, I'll be buying a new rosemary start.
Look, this rosemary is dead. It's not going to come back, but I am going to attempt something, in this case a hack job, before fully giving up later.
It's always stressful to cut back your herbs or anything to the point that they're just twigs, but I'm really hoping that this will pay off and that they'll do a lot better this summer. That's going to be it for me today. Unfortunately, it is still raining and it's rather cold right now. It's about 40 degrees out Fahrenheit, and I'm going to put that temperature in centigrade here. It's about time to go inside and warm up a little bit. I do have some sage that I think is salvageable. I'm going to go ahead and dry this so I can use it in the kitchen. If you'd like to see how well these plants do in a couple months, make sure you subscribe. And while you're at it, go ahead and like this video as well. Before I go, I do want to show you a few clips of how the pots I prepped last week are doing. And I also want to show you some of the flowers that popped up in the last week.